Hello, lovely garden lovers. Welcome back to Blooming Globe, your go-to place for garden inspiration and serene outdoor escapes. Today, we're taking a magical stroll through a charming cottage garden filled with fragrant lavender, vibrant coneflowers, and so many delightful surprises. Whether you're dreaming of adding timeless charm to your backyard or just need a little floral inspiration, this tour will transport you to a blooming haven. So, stay with me until the end and let's uncover the secrets to creating your own backyard escape. Walking down the lavender lane, you're instantly embraced by the soothing scent of blooming lavender mingling with vibrant purple coneflowers. This soft, inviting pathway is framed by a classic white picket fence and sprinkled with trailing vines that dance gently in the breeze. Combination of color and fragrance creates a timeless cottage garden experience that calms the soul and welcomes visitors warmly. As you continue along the gravel path, the harmonious pairing of lavender and coneflowers sets a serene mood, encouraging slow, mindful steps. The gentle sway of the flowers alongside the rustic fence invites you to pause and take in the beauty of this blooming backyard escape, perfectly blending natural charm with a touch of elegance. The wrought iron arch stands proudly at the garden's entrance, draped in soft pink climbing roses that exude a delicate fragrance. This vintage structure acts as both a welcoming gateway and a floral centerpiece, guiding you deeper into the heart of the garden. The gentle climb of roses adds vertical beauty and a romantic touch to the landscape. Passing beneath the arch, the mingling scents of roses and nearby blooms create a sensory delight that beckons you further. The timeless combination of ironwork and florals perfectly balances strength and softness, setting the stage for the enchanting scenes yet to be explored. Nestled quietly among lush greenery, the rustic stone birdbath serves as a peaceful oasis for birds and garden visitors alike. Surrounded by clusters of soft blue catmint, the birdbath becomes a focal point where the gentle sounds of water invite tranquility. Bees and butterflies flit from flower to flower, adding life and motion to this charming corner. This simple yet elegant feature connects the garden's natural rhythms with human presence. Catmint's subtle fragrance and the birdbath's weathered texture harmonize, grounding the garden's aesthetic in timeless rustic beauty. Next to a pastel-painted garden shed lies a mini wildflower meadow bursting with black-eyed Susans, cornflowers, and delicate Queen Anne's lace. This colorful patch creates a natural, carefree atmosphere, contrasting beautifully with the orderly structure of the shed. It evokes a sense of joyful spontaneity and invites pollinators to the garden. The wildflower meadow softens the edges of the garden, blending cultivated spaces with a touch of wilderness. As butterflies dance above the blooms, this corner feels like a secret escape where nature's free spirit is celebrated. A quaint wooden bench adorned with vintage teacups filled with thyme, oregano, and lavender adds a whimsical charm to the garden. Each teacup acts as a tiny herb garden, inviting visitors to experience nature's fragrance up close. This creative planting method marries functionality with nostalgic elegance. Seated on the bench, surrounded by the gentle aromas and colorful blooms, one can enjoy a peaceful respite. The blend of culinary herbs and cottage garden flowers reflects a lifestyle rooted in simplicity and grace. The circular coneflower island is a buzzing hub for pollinators, featuring vibrant purple coneflowers mingled with milkweed and phlox. This deliberate planting choice encourages bees and butterflies, bringing lively movement and sound to the garden. The bed's rounded shape draws the eye inward, creating a natural gathering place for nature's smallest guests. By fostering biodiversity, this bee-friendly island not only supports the ecosystem but also enhances the garden's visual appeal. It reminds us of the interconnectedness of beauty and sustainability in a modern cottage garden setting. An antique white bicycle stands proudly, repurposed as a planter overflowing with vivid petunias and trailing greenery. This charming upcycled feature blends creativity and nostalgia, adding playful character to the garden. Captures the essence of cottage garden whimsy, where every detail tells a story. Placed thoughtfully within the floral landscape, the bicycle planter invites curiosity and delight. Soft pastel hues and blooming baskets create a joyful focal point that complements the natural surroundings. Pathway edged with fragrant lavender and delicate chamomile invites leisurely strolls while soothing the senses. The soft fragrance that fills the air encourages mindfulness and relaxation, turning a simple walk into a calming ritual. This fragrant border is as functional as it is beautiful, guiding visitors through the garden's heart. The combination of these two herbs creates a balanced sensory experience, lavender's bold scent paired with chamomile's gentle sweetness. Together, they frame the path with an elegant simplicity that speaks to the garden's understated charm. Beneath a shaded tree canopy, tall spires of delicate foxgloves rise gracefully, their pastel bells creating a magical woodland feel. This shady grove offers a cool retreat from the sun, adding vertical interest and softness to the garden's design. The interplay of light filtering through leaves highlights the foxglove's ethereal beauty. The serene setting combines the lushness of ferns and forget-me-nots with the foxglove's stately presence. Together, they compose a harmonious corner that celebrates both the garden's wild and cultivated aspects. A weathered vintage window frame repurposed as a trellis supports fragrant sweet pea vines climbing skyward. This creative use of reclaimed materials adds architectural interest and a nostalgic touch to the garden. Pastel blossoms cascade delicately, softening the aged wood with natural grace. As the sweet peas bloom, the trellis becomes a focal point that blends history and nature. It encourages viewers to appreciate the beauty of sustainable gardening through artistic reuse. A charming DIY fountain constructed from stacked antique watering cans provides a gentle, trickling water sound that soothes the garden atmosphere. Moss-covered stones and surrounding flowers complete this rustic centerpiece, merging function with whimsical design. The water feature invites visitors to pause and enjoy moments of calm. This creative repurposing of vintage tools reflects the cottage garden's spirit of resourcefulness and artistry. The soft water sounds combined with floral surroundings enrich the sensory tapestry of the garden. A repurposed whiskey barrel brims with an exuberant mix of purple coneflowers, cosmos, and bee balm, creating a colorful container garden. This charming combination evokes rustic elegance, perfectly suited to cottage garden aesthetics. The barrel adds a textured, earthy foundation to the vibrant blooms above. Placed beside a gravel path, the barrel garden adds height and dimension to the landscape. Its overflowing blooms invite visitors to lean in closer and appreciate the details of each flower. Tucked behind a weathered iron gate lies a secret garden corner filled with lavender and daisies, creating a sense of discovery and tranquility. The gate's rusted patina contrasts beautifully with the fresh blooms, inviting guests into a hidden sanctuary. This secluded space evokes the timeless allure of private garden retreats. Stepping inside, the quietude and floral scents envelop visitors, offering respite from the outside world. The garden's charm is heightened by this intimate enclosure, fostering a personal connection with nature. A classic white wooden rocking chair is nestled among vibrant wildflowers and soft lavender, offering a perfect spot for peaceful reflection. This cozy seating area invites visitors to slow down and immerse themselves in the sights and scents of the blooming garden. The gentle motion of the chair mirrors the soft sway of flowers nearby. From this vantage point, one can savor the rhythmic harmony of nature and the simple joy of outdoor living. It's a place where time seems to pause, and every breath carries the essence of summer. A miniature lavender maze spirals invitingly, dotted with twinkling fairy lanterns that glow softly as dusk falls. This whimsical garden feature adds a touch of magic and wonder, blending natural beauty with subtle illumination. Walking the path through fragrant lavender becomes a sensory and visual delight. As evening descends, the lantern's gentle light enhances the garden's fairy tale ambience, transforming the space into a dreamlike escape. The lavender's scent and the soft glow together create an unforgettable experience. An old wooden ladder leans against a garden wall, its rungs adorned with potted alyssum and lobelia that spill gracefully. This creative display adds vertical interest and rustic charm to the garden, making use of everyday objects in beautiful ways. The delicate flowers soften the ladder's weathered texture. Placed in a cozy corner, the ladder display invites appreciation of details and craftsmanship. It embodies the cottage garden ethos of blending practicality with artistic expression. pastel-painted wheelbarrow bursts with marigolds, zinnias, and other bright blooms, serving as a vibrant garden planter. This cheerful repurposing of a classic gardening tool adds color and whimsy to the landscape. The wheelbarrow's worn paint contrasts with the fresh vitality of the flowers. Nestled on a garden path, it acts as both decor and a floral beacon, drawing the eye and inspiring smiles. It's a perfect example of turning simple objects into garden treasures. A flower bed planted in neat blocks of lavender, echinacea, salvia, and yarrow forms a colorful garden quilt. This structured layout brings order to the natural profusion of blooms, creating a harmonious patchwork of scents and hues. Each section complements the next, weaving together a cohesive design. Walking alongside this floral quilt, visitors experience the balance of geometry and softness. Celebrates the beauty of intentional planting within a relaxed cottage garden setting. The garden's weathered wooden pergola is draped in a canopy of purple clematis and wisteria, shading a quaint bistro table below. This inviting spot blends floral fragrance with comfortable seating, perfect for quiet mornings or afternoon tea. The aged wood adds authenticity and charm. Beneath the flowering vines, the space feels sheltered yet open, connecting people with nature's gentle embrace. It's a living room under the sky, wrapped in blossoms and light. A towering backdrop of pink hollyhocks rises behind beds of layered coneflowers and rudbeckia, creating dramatic height and color contrast. This classic cottage garden combination adds vertical emphasis and garden depth. The bold blooms invite admiration and frame the garden beautifully. Together, these flowers create a vibrant tapestry of summer life, blending textures and tones that evoke warmth and vitality. This floral arrangement provides a stunning visual anchor for the garden's design. A collection of terracotta pots filled with trailing nasturtiums and fragrant herbs cluster invitingly around the base of a mature shade tree. This charming arrangement adds layers of texture and color, grounding the garden in natural simplicity. Pots' aged surfaces complement the tree's bark beautifully. This intimate vignette encourages visitors to explore the sensory delights of the garden, from herbal scents to vibrant foliage. It's a testament to the beauty found in thoughtful details. A rustic garden wall is adorned with hanging straw sun hats and woven baskets overflowing with seasonal flowers. This playful display combines function and decoration, bringing a cheerful personality to the garden's perimeter. The hats tell stories of sunny days spent outdoors, while the baskets burst with color. Together, these elements create an inviting backdrop that embodies cottage garden whimsy. It's a visual celebration of outdoor living and floral abundance. A gently curved garden bed centers around a vibrant cluster of purple coneflowers, edged by cheerful daisies and calendula. The meandering path invites exploration, guiding visitors through this lively floral scene. The shape softens the garden's lines and adds dynamic flow. This design encourages a leisurely pace, allowing visitors to absorb the varied textures and hues. Coneflower's prominence provides a bold yet welcoming focal point. A raised vegetable bed bordered by fragrant lavender blends beauty with practicality. Tomatoes, beans, and other edibles thrive within, while the lavender scent deters pests and adds sensory richness. This integration of edible and ornamental plants is a hallmark of thoughtful garden design. Walking alongside the vegetable patch, one appreciates the balance between nurture and aesthetics. The lavender's purple border defines the space with elegance and purpose. Vintage iron lantern poles hold hanging baskets overflowing with trailing verbena and bacopa, adding height and color to the garden's edges. The lanterns themselves suggest soft light as evening falls, extending garden enjoyment into twilight hours. This feature combines utility and beauty seamlessly. The gentle sway of flowers against the dark ironwork creates dynamic contrast and movement. It's a timeless detail that enriches the garden's atmosphere and invites lingering. A wooden arbor covered with fragrant honeysuckle and rambling roses shelters a garden bench beneath, creating a cozy nook. This floral canopy offers shade and scent, making it a perfect retreat for quiet moments or shared conversation. The weathered wood adds rustic warmth. As light filters softly through leaves and blossoms, the arbor transforms the bench into an enchanted seating area. It embodies the garden's blend of intimacy and natural beauty. A dedicated pollinator corner blooms with purple coneflowers and silvery lavender, surrounded by handcrafted wooden bee hotels. This bee haven supports local wildlife while enhancing the garden's visual and ecological richness. The busy hum of bees adds vibrant energy. This space highlights the importance of biodiversity in garden design. It encourages visitors to see their outdoor spaces as part of a larger natural ecosystem. The garden path is decorated with colorful mosaic stepping stones made from vintage china shards, bordered by creeping thyme. This artistic detail adds personality and texture to the walkway, inviting closer inspection. Stone is a small work of art. Walking this path becomes a sensory experience, blending tactile interest with fragrant herbs underfoot. It's a playful yet elegant nod to creativity in garden design. cotton hammock stretches invitingly between posts, surrounded by lush borders of pink and purple blooms. This serene spot offers respite and a gentle sway that soothes the mind and body. The vibrant flowers create a private, colorful enclosure. Relaxing here, one feels enveloped by the garden's peaceful rhythms. It's a perfect place to daydream, read, or simply enjoy the beauty of nature in comfort. A vintage porcelain garden sink has been lovingly repurposed as a planter overflowing with trailing lobelia and snapdragons. This whimsical feature adds unexpected charm and history to the garden. Contrast between old and new brings freshness to the space. This creative reuse invites visitors to appreciate the blend of utility and artistry. It stands as a delightful statement piece that celebrates the garden's spirit of imagination. Thank you so much for joining this enchanting cottage garden tour. From lavender-lined lanes to whimsical upcycled planters, these ideas remind us how simple touches can transform any outdoor space into a blooming sanctuary. If you loved this journey and want more garden inspiration, please like this video, subscribe to Blooming Globe, and leave your thoughts or favorite ideas in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep blooming beautifully.